My granddad used to have many different sayings, and one of the sayings he had was, "We live in hope and die in vain." And he would say this a lot. Anyway, it could be said that there is something called conscious hope and unconscious hope. And so if someone is going through a challenging time, they can hope that things will change. And as they are in hope, even though this can be seen as something that is positive, it could be said that they won't be coming from a place of strength or feel confident that things will change. Because if they felt confident that things would change, so either what is going on would take a turn for the better, or that they would simply move forward, they would know that things would change. They wouldn't hope that things would change. And so this is an example of how someone can use hope in a conscious way to experience life differently, but they can still be coming from a place of feeling totally helpless. As I said, if they actually knew and believed that things would change, they wouldn't be in a place of hope. And when it comes down to unconscious hope, this can be something that someone experiences when they get into a relationship. So as this is unconscious, they won't be aware of it. However, once they get into a relationship in the beginning, they can feel good, they can even feel high. And then as time goes on, they can end up feeling very low and very flat. And so I will have showed that in the beginning their hopes were up, and then as time has changed, their hopes have been dashed. And at this point, through not being aware of what was going on for them, they can believe that the other person has let them down. They can feel as though the other person promised them so much and now they've simply not given them what they needed. However, what this can show is that in the beginning of the relationship, a big part of them thought that they were going to receive what they missed out on during their early years. So they believed that they were finally going to get some of their unmet childhood needs met. And then as time went by, it would have become clear that this person wasn't able to give them what their parents or parent wasn't able to provide them. And this is why they would have ended up feeling very low, perhaps depressed, maybe even suicidal. Because a big part of them that was out of their awareness thought they were going to get what they missed out on as a child. And so this can be seen as an example of unconscious hope. But in order for them to realize what is going on and to see that it wasn't actually that the other person let them down, it was the fact that they were looking for so much. They were looking for things that no other adult can give them. They will, of course, need to be aware of what is going on inside them, because all the time they are focused on the external world and what the other person has not done for them. And this driver, this unconscious driver, is out of their awareness, and how are they going to know? But if they were to bring their awareness into their body and to connect to how they feel and to see how old they feel and what images come up, they will be able to see that they were looking for so much. They were looking for things that can't really be provided by another adult. And if they were to look back on their life, they may see that this is something that has taken place on more than one occasion. So perhaps they have had many relationships where they expected so much, so their hopes went up and then they ended up falling down. And this may have happened with friendships as well, with colleagues, because although intellectually they will be able to see that another adult is not their parent, at a deeper level, the emotional part of them will see other adults as their parents, through transference, of course. And so they will project unconsciously a parent onto someone else, and then they will hope that this person will give them what they needed. So if during their early years they were deprived of so many of the things that they needed in order to grow and develop, then naturally they are going to have a lot of unmet childhood needs to do with being loved, accepted, approved of, having their value mirrored back to them. All these needs won't have been met. And so through having all these unmet childhood needs, they will naturally be looking for so much from others. But in order for them to let go of this hope that these needs will ever be met, and to be able to fulfill their adult needs, they will need to embrace these unmet childhood needs and to cry out the pain. Because all the time that they are in hope, they will continue to suffer. And this can be seen as a difference between conscious, legitimate suffering and unconscious, illegitimate suffering, as old Carl Jung said. So when one is consciously facing their emotional wounds and crying out the pain of not getting their needs met, they will be engaging in legitimate suffering. It will hurt, but it won't last forever. Whereas when they are engaging in illegitimate suffering and they are looking for other adults to meet their unmet childhood needs, this will be painful and it will go on forever. They will go up in the beginning of a relationship, then they will go down, and then they'll meet someone else and they will go up, and then they will go down again. They will be stuck on this treadmill to hell. So if you can relate to this, you can see that you often live in hope that your life will change, hope that someone will change, hope this, hope that. Then you may have a number of unmet childhood needs to grieve. And as you do this, you will be able to move out of hope and to move in a place of knowing and being able to manifest what you desire, to know that it will show up, instead of hoping and being in this very bleak place. So if you can relate to this, please don't suffer in silence and reach out for the assistance that you need to gradually change your life. If you would like to find out more about the services that I offer, please go to www.oliverjrcooper.co.uk or email me at info@oliverjrcooper.co.uk, and I'm looking forward to assisting you on your journey.